Hey guys, it's Cairo, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what happens after a relationship, after a breakup. Um, so, this is my story of what happened after my most recent breakup, my second longest relationship, which is kind of sad because it was only 15 months. Most all of my relationships, almost all of my relationships have been very abusive. Um, So, here's what happened after this last one, which was pretty emotionally abusive and very painful for me. Um, so, like a month or a month and a half ago, it was like the last straw for me. It was like, okay, this is over. Like this is it. Um, and he apologized, but I still feel like really angry, and I've said some really awful things to him, and how I hope that everything he did was worth it, was worth losing me over. And he says that it's not. I don't know how he feels anymore. He found out that I was dating somebody, and he seemed to completely stop caring after that point, which is fine because he should move forward and move on and try to get better. But, um, yeah. So, what happened to me? I became very angry for the first time in my life. I'm not an angry person, or I wasn't before, and now I just feel like ridiculously angry. And that's kind of upsetting to me because usually I'm really calm and really, you know, not angry or mean. And when I'm not calm, I'm panicking. I'm not like flipping shit on people. But now that's all changed. I went off and I said some really awful things to him. Um, Secondly, I developed an alcohol dependency, which I am sort of getting over. Sort of. I don't feel like I'm ready to get over it. I don't feel like, I don't know. I might be just scared, but eventually eventually I'm sure I'll realize that this has to stop. There's a lot going on in my life. There are problems that I'm having physically and health-wise that are really scary to me. So I guess that's how I've been kind of coping with all of this, and that's not necessarily the right choice. So don't necessarily follow by example. Just know that if that's something you've gone through, you aren't alone. The third thing that happened to me is I've developed another eating disorder. I started out being anorexic when I was younger, in the beginning of high school, and now, many a year later, I have developed another eating disorder, which I will not go into the gross details of presently. But that's not good. And it sucks, and I weigh myself every day, at least twice a day, to see how much I weigh, and it gets to me. It gets to me, dude. Like, I don't know, in a relationship, you kind of feel like they're gonna love you no matter what you look like, or how you are, or etc., etc., etc. And now it's like, shit, I'm a model, and looking at myself in the mirror, it's just like, what the fuck? And I know, like, I'm not big, I'm not heavy, but there's still this urge to just like binge and purge all the time, and it's awful. It's just awful. And that's one of the other effects. I've felt pretty okay, but clearly I'm not okay because of all of these things that I'm doing that is making it not okay. I've been dating this guy who I have a very confusing friendship with because I have feelings for him emotionally, but I'm not physically attracted to him because I like girls mostly, and guys generally aren't that attractive, but I don't know. There's like a weird dynamic between he and I, and that stresses me the fuck out. Which means obviously I am not ready for a relationship, and I know that. I'm not trying to jump into anything, but I've been developing a lot of problems. Quite frankly, I'm just very excited for my therapist to return from maternity leave. That'll be nice. Um, but as I am now, this breakup, this relationship has affected me very negatively. And it's okay if you're feeling the way that I am, or even if you're doing the same things that I am, as long as you realize that that's a problem and you make efforts towards changing it. I know that I'm not somebody who can say that they're perfect, somebody who can say that they're even close. But I think that, I don't know, I could have let this relationship go on and maybe it would have gotten better. But now that we broke up, it definitely can't get worse. And I think that's for the best, even if how I'm feeling now is just a lot of pain. So I'll be okay, and so will you. I love you guys.